How's it going, guys? Welcome to Audio Addiction. We have Mohawk Bends with us, and they could say their names, what they do in the band.
Cool. How's it going? I'm Chris. I sing and play rhythm guitar.
I'm Colin. I play guitar.
I'm Alex, and I play drums.
Jonathan, play the bass.
Awesome, guys. So the first question is the most important one. Tell them about how you started the band and how'd you guys come together?
Alex, you want to take that one?
Yeah, so I played in a band a few years ago called First Time in Color, and then Chris and Colin had previously played in another band called Didnt, and we got to a point, so I had hit them up one day and just asked if they wanted to kind of start something, because I really liked both of their styles of music. I liked Chris's singing, and I liked Colin's guitar playing, and so after a while, we kind of got the idea going. We got in the same room one day, and I think we wrote like three songs in one day, and it meshed super well.
Yeah, and they were the songs that made it onto the record, and we still play at most of our live shows.
Yeah.
So it was just it just went together really smoothly.
And then we added Jonathan after what?
Maybe a month.
Just
or
a
Yeah,
month.
yeah.
After a month
very
after
short.
that,
Mhm.
yeah.
Brought the whole thing together.
Awesome. I guess how did like the first practice or like the first, you guys said you like knew each other, so I feel like it wasn't very like, oh my gosh, like I met you on Craigslist, you might like kill me, you know.
Well, that's exactly how we met John.
They had another audition after me, but I think they already set their minds after my audition.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, we jammed with John, and it was just I think it was kind of just as good as an audition can go. And
Or I showed them the bass line that I created for Plastercast, one of our songs, and they liked it, right?
Yeah.
no, I mean it was I think we jammed on that song, and it sounded as if he had been playing it with us.
And
for
they gave me the freedom to create the bass line and not, or I just did my own thing, and then they liked that. So
it worked out perfect.
Worked out really well.
And then you're like all in talks, and you're like, who should we?
They did audition the other bass player.
Yeah, we had the guy
I
after
them for that.
him. We couldn't be like, hey man, thanks for showing up, but it's done. You know.
All right, guys. The next question is, what are some favorite venues local to you guys that you enjoy going to and playing shows at?
Definitely Stubbs.
Yes.
Mohawk.
Stubbs is a bit of our home away from home. They're always just really great to us, and we've had a lot of our best gigs there. But then Mohawk is great.
Yeah.
We've played a lot of like other just kind of ragtag venues around the city, and ones that aren't necessarily as noticeable, but Dozen Street in Austin has shown us a lot of love.
Awesome.
Unfortunately, it sounds like they aren't going to be around for a bit much longer, but they've given us some great opportunities and some great shows. And then St. Elmo Brewery is another one that we really enjoy playing at. And Cheer Up Charlie's. There's just no shortage of good venues, fortunately, in this town.
Yeah.
There we go. That's awesome. Good to hear, because I always like asking that if I ever go to visit these cities. So I have a laundry list of places to visit, and now I have cool venues to go visit.
And you have somewhere to stay too.
Yeah, exactly. We all have spare rooms. So
Awesome, guys. Next question, kind of the follow-up to the venues. What was the last show that you attended that you didn't play?
Oh man.
well, 2 weeks ago, I went with my girlfriend to see a local hip hop show for something that Austin does called Free Week, and it's the first weekend of January every year, and it's just all the venues on Red River and the surrounding areas just do free shows, and they get bands to come out, and it's really just a way to get people back out there after the kind of holiday madness. But we went to see Black-A-Lack, Magna Carta, and I think Kid Jones was the opener at the Parish over on Dirty Sixth, and it was just a great show, really, really great time, and really cool to see Austin's hip hop scene as active as it is.
Awesome.
What have you guys been to recently?
Man, I don't think I've been to a show yet this year since the holidays have kind of gone back. But I know you guys went and saw Slideshow, right?
We saw some buddies last night, Slideshow at Whippin', and they were awesome too. Another really cool Austin band worth checking out.
Yeah, I think the last one I saw was Honey at Barracuda, and that was they're one of my favorite bands. So that's like the 4th or 5th time I've seen them in Austin.
Nice.
So yeah.
What about you, John?
Nothing this year yet, but I'm going to see the Used soon. They're gonna do a little
Where are they playing?
small venue. They're doing like a small venue tour, back to small venues.
Oh, that's awesome.
And
that's
the
cool.
whole tour is
Yeah.
sold out already.
Okay, of course it is. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
And they're gonna play Mohawk outside, so that's a show that I'm gonna go see.
That's gonna
But
be
it's
awesome.
nice to say
Yeah.
like we're gonna go back to smaller venues, so where it can be packed and like have
Yeah.
that feeling where it's close together.
Back
And
to the
I like
roots.
that. I like that better than being among 3,000 people. Or like
No,
I guess
totally.
maybe because
Yeah.
I'm an introvert or something.
The more intimate, the better. I always found. Yeah.
But that's really cool. I did hear about that, and I was like, man, I should get on it. And then it's sold out, like
It's sold out.
immediately,
Yeah.
as you're saying. So that's good for them. I'm glad they're doing it. Maybe they'll, fingers crossed, do more shows.
Yeah.
Have more
Yeah.
shows on, but we'll
Yeah.
see. But the next question, guys, the most important one as well. Who are you guys influenced by? I guess we can go down the line, and you guys can tell me.
I think Queens of the Stone Age is probably a good one to start off with there. I think stylistically, it's just a lot of they have a lot of interesting riffs and whatnot. We like playing. I don't want to say abnormal riffs or something, but we don't like playing too many basic chord progressions and stuff like that. We kind of like to keep it fresh for us too.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think it's a band. I think that influences us.
They're able to be weird, but not
Not
too
too
weird.
weird.
Weird and accessible at the same time.
No, I mean they're just good at
Yeah.
creating these hooks that are just they're very unconventional, but they're
Yeah,
always
exactly.
catchy. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean I think Queens of the Stone Age is a big one. It constantly changes. I think when I'm writing a song, I have the habit of wearing my influences on my sleeve to
Sure.
where like whatever I'm listening to at that moment, it's probably going to come through in whatever we play, any new song. So I think, yeah, it comes down to Queens. Cage the Elephant has always been a big one of
nice.
ours. The Districts, Hippocampus, Local Natives to an extent, like just a lot of different bands over the years, and
Yeah.
especially now, as we're kind of approaching the end of our second year as a band, and we're kind of identifying what we want to play, and kind of making a little more cohesion from song to song. A lot of it has been those bands that have kind of rung true in our sound.
Yeah.
Awesome. Anyone else or?
Yeah, John, any influences? Or?
For me, the bass wise, it's a lot of Iron Maiden,
Oh, okay.
a lot of Red Hot Chili Peppers. Jaco Pastorius, more like a jazz bass player,
Mhm.
but I bring a lot of that into the bass lines that I create, and everything that they said when we got together, that was another thing. When they were looking for a bass player, then they mentioned the bands that they liked, and I thought to myself, yeah, that's great. Like, let's get together. So
Yeah,
it's part of
yeah.
what Chris said already.
I
Yeah.
think for drums, me, like Hippocampus and Bad Songs, it's a lot of what I
Ooh,
listen to
yeah.
right there. But also, like, a lot of my beats are influenced by hip hop because I listen to a lot of rap as well. So trying to like mesh that into what we do as well, it kind of creates a good blend to what we have.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah, for me, it's like I listen to a lot of like funk and metal, which is
Ooh.
kind of weird, but like, so like, and a little jazz fusion stuff as well. Like Snarky Puppy
Ooh.
is like a big favorite of mine. So like, I kind of like, I know we don't like our music doesn't sound anything like that, but I always like, I feel like there's something you can learn from
Oh.
listening.
It's like whenever you always try to throw those diminished chords in.
I do.
Yeah.
I was trying to do like weird stuff like that.
I love that stuff. I feel like most people associate the channel with like more metal stuff, but I genuinely I watched I don't know if you guys have seen it, that one live video when they're in that room and they're all like playing, like there's like people around them in that one room. I forget the
Oh
song
yeah,
name.
yeah. We like it here. Yeah, yeah.
But I watched it and I was just like, I can't play guitar for like the next year because
yeah,
I
they're like make you want to quit. Yeah.
They
Dude,
do.
I might be wrong, but didn't you send us that video in like our group chat and say I quit guitar?
Yeah, yeah.
I think it was that exact video.
I mean, it's 100% accurate. I feel like if you send that video to any musician, you'd be like, yeah, I might need to take a break for some time. But the next question, guys, kind of tailing into what we were just talking about. Who have you guys been listening to more recently? What's on your Spotify? What have you been jamming recently?
Ooh.
Yeah, it's tough.
There's this band called Sports from Oklahoma
I like
City
them.
that I've been really into recently. They're kind of like a dream poppy kind of band.
Oh,
But they're, They're really cool. Yeah, I don't know why I've just been really into them recently.
I'm actually I have a little the past few weeks I have a little throwback to at the drive-in.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Dusting off an oldie.
I've been just like enjoying it, and that's how I felt listening to because it feels like they don't. It's not like they don't care, but it's just like I like the attitude where we're just doing what we do. If you listen to the first albums, you can hear like mistakes in the guitars and stuff like that, but it's like that not caring. It's something that's genuine. It's really genuine. That's really pushing me right now to for what we're doing or writing my own song and stuff like that. So that attitude, it's really. Or it gave me that. Or maybe I should quit. Or it gave me that. Maybe I should quit. Or we should go all the way.
Right. Generally, those are the things that push you to the next.
But the past few weeks, just going back to that at the drive-in, man, it's been pretty fun few weeks for me. Basically.
It's honestly a little bit of everything. Like it kind of depends. Like lately, I've been listening to like a lot of R&B too.
Ooh.
So like a lot of my drums kind of come through a lot. So I've been listening a lot to Sir. I don't know if you know who that is, but
yeah,
a really great album that came out. So I've been listening to that. It sounds really smooth, and I really like him stylistically. But
yeah, much like Alex, I've been listening to a lot of R&B and soul. One of Austin's homegrown heroes, Black Pumas, are nominated for a Grammy this year. So I've been listening to a lot of their last record, and then that kind of has just snowballed into returning to Leon Bridges, Raphael Sadiq, among others. And then honestly, the last week or so, I've been kind of back on a Brandi Carlile train.
Interesting.
Enough, but like she's just incredible, and she definitely has one of my favorite voices of the generation, I suppose. But she's just been kind of a lot of R&B and Brandi Carlile.
I think in some way that we stand out is that we're not scared into looking to a lot of styles of music, and not necessarily maybe take inspiration, not necessarily play R&B and stuff like that, but we take those things. We're not afraid to take things from different types of music into rock and roll or heavier stuff and do what we do, but take things from like jazz, blues, hip hop, R&B. So we're not scared of taking stuff from that perspective and into our music. So I like that.
And that's how I felt like listening to some of your stuff, because I feel like as a interviewer and stuff like that, I have to like do my research, a little bit. So I like listened to some of the tracks, and I was like, I always like asking this question, especially in like the thought process of like I'm gonna interview them. So like I'm curious where they come from musically, and then can I connect the dots to like be like, this is Mohawk Bends. So I felt like for myself, like when you guys were mentioning like a mix of different things, I couldn't really like nitpick on like certain bands that I was like, okay, they have that sound, and there's that familiarity. I felt like you guys kind of did that blend or that fusion of different things, and it did feel organic. It didn't feel like it was just like like a Mars Volta record where everything's just like insane.
Oh wow, thank you.
Appreciate that for sure. And I think especially as if I go back and listen to what we did, because I mean the first record was largely built of just songs that we started the band in January or February of 2017, and then we had the record out by November of 2017, and a lot of that was Colin, it was all self-produced, self-recorded. Colin did all the engineering, mixing, mastering on it, and we did it in his one of his spare bedrooms. And I like going back and listening to it because it really was just one of those things where we were so focused on getting something out there that we would just write a song and be like, okay, that's going on the record. And it wasn't really a pick and choose thing. It was just kind of like a let's amass a body of work and get it out there. And I listened back to it, and it is. I can hear every song's individual influence, but I do feel like it's a perfect representation of just what we try to do.
Yeah.
It's a good
and
fusion.
Told us what to do. We were the only decision makers, so that was a lot of fun.
There we go, guys. Next question, a fun one. If you guys could pick a song to cover, what would it be?
Oh man.
Well, go with the flow like Queen of the Stone Age.
Yeah.
Go with the flow like Queen of the Stone Age. That's for me.
I mean, even before Mohawk Bends, I think you've always wanted to do Tears for Fears.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Everybody wants to rule the world, or
Head Over Heels.
Or Head Over Heels.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Tears for Fears fan.
Yeah, it's funny. I think over the last 2 years, for virtually every show we've booked, we've been like, let's do a cover at this one. And then it just hasn't really happened.
Just never
Yeah, I think in this last stub show, we played last Saturday, and we were talking for a while about doing In My Head by Queens of the Stone Age, and that would have been a fun one. But we also dusted off 2 brand new songs. It just seemed like it'd be a bit too much of that time. But
Sure.
yeah, there's a couple. There's a few on my. I actually would always love to do an Electric Light Orchestra, an ELO cover. I think that'd be a lot of fun too.
Don't Bring Me Down.
Don't Bring Me Down. Yeah, I mean, any of them could be great. So I think we'll have to do that eventually. For sure.
That'd be fun.
There we go. And if you have any future suggestions, drop them in the comments. Maybe they'll wind up doing one of those.
We will come back and check.
Awesome, guys. Next question, another fun one as well. Favorite food to eat? What's the go-to?
Oh, it's easy. Italian.
No,
For me,
Italian,
it's like I could eat that every day.
Yeah.
Very easy for me. Beef fajitas.
Oh,
No question.
That's because you make them good.
Yeah, he does make a meat beef fajita for sure. I'm just a classic hamburger guy. I really appreciate a good hamburger.
Respect.
There's a lot of good options, but I'm always excited to find a new hamburger place.
No, for me, Mexican food and Italian food. Mexican food, Italian food.
Food in general.
Yeah, no, but Mexican food. I'm half Mexican, and we used to go to visit in Mexico every 2 years, and that was the biggest thing for me, like the Mexican food. And living now in Austin, you have all that. So I'm really happy where I'm at food wise.
Yeah.
I've heard there's very good Mexican food in Austin, so I'm glad I'm getting that reoccurrence of Austin. I have to go to Austin.
Yeah.
I think that was the big thing, is that now I need to go to Austin for some good Mexican food.
Highly recommend Polvos if you ever make it to town. It's
Yeah.
margaritas are kick-ass there.
Yeah.
So.
Next question, guys. If you could pick somebody to collaborate with, whether it be a guest vocalist or guest artist on your next record, or a producer you'd like to work with in the future, who would it be?
That's tough. I have so many names in my head right now.
There's one artist that's actually in another Austin local that I have always been a fan of, and I'd love to do a duet with her. Her name is Molly Birch. And she's a really just amazing. I don't know if you're familiar, but she's a kind of soul. She just kind of perfectly encapsulates this. I don't even know what era or what genre to describe it as, but it's kind of like, how Lana Del Rey does like that kind of old Hollywood, 1960s, 70s cinema vibe. Molly Birch just has this soul vibe that I don't know. It's amazing. And so I anytime I hear her voice, if it's on KUTX or if I'm just listening on my own, it's always just one of those songs or one of those voices that I would love to sing with. But yeah.
Yeah, for me, I don't know. Josh Homme would be cool.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of like to what you were saying. Like, I think with an Austin artist would be cool. Like, there's a rapper here called I'll Be the Nomad. I think he would be really cool. Emily Wolf would be cool.
Yeah.
Extremely talented. I think that would be a cool one as well.
I don't have that.
maybe just Iron Maiden. Yeah.
I'm just having playing with these guys.
No, I think at least for some of it speaks to the Austin scene, to where I think my mind goes to more low, or not low, but local artists that are still ready to break. I mean, there's just a crazy amount of talent here that I'd love to work with.
And I think that's really cool because usually people pick the real off the wall dream picks, which is really good too. And I think it's good to have that mentality of aspirations, stuff you want to happen. But
it's good to be realistic.
It's good to be realistic too. I always love when I have bands that come in and they're like, this is a great local artist. So if you are one of those local artists that were mentioned, you guys should definitely do something. But
Yeah,
you go.
we will not say no.
The next question, guys, if there was another musical instrument you could master, what would it be?
Keyboards, 100%. I learned as a kid, and then I switched to guitar. Played guitar for like 20 years, and I can't play keyboards anymore. So I wish I could play keyboard for sure.
Yeah.
That'd be it.
Yeah, I think piano would be a really cool one. I just think like if whenever you see a really talented pianist, it's just like something special. I think it'd be cool to have that.
Yeah, I think mine would be the cello.
Ooh.
Same here.
I thought you were gonna say that.
Same here, man. Same
Yeah, no. Every time I hear a cello, I'm just like, God, it's beautiful. So.
Or
It's
no,
not too
like
late.
just cover Metallica, like Apocalyptica. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes. Awesome.
Yeah.
But playing the bass, upright bass hurts my hands, so I don't do that a lot. But yeah, the sound of the it's really. I would do that.
Yeah.
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 Nice.
We should rent some cellos.
But I think you need to start young.
I don't know.
It's never too late.
Yeah, I think people say that because, like, as adults, you're not used to like sucking at something as you do when you pick up a new instrument, and so I think adults are more easily discouraged than children. But I actually think that as an adult, it's easier to learn something. But that's just me.
That's a good mentality.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not a hot take. I was gonna say it was a hot take, but it's not. I feel like that's 100% true. Like you're just like, you're like, oh man, like you're like, oh, I want to learn this instrument, and then you're like, oh wait, I live in like an apartment and I can't play like at like 2 a.m. when I want to just like rip it up.
You can. You won't be loved by your neighbors.
You have to have that. You have to have that sense of realism.
Yeah.
But if your question was what I was playing, if it wasn't bass, probably drums. You know.
Oh, okay.
That's when your neighbors really don't like you.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Like rock band instrument was actually the drums.
Yeah.
But then I missed the spotlight, and I was like, I'm gonna sing and play guitar.
Yeah, my first guitar, so I was the opposite.
I know you're always blocked by us in the photos, and I was like, I don't want to be that guy.
I'm trying to like peek around.
You're like this, like yeah. I know the struggle. I've seen drummer photos. They're like I'm here in the back. Hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
The Iron Maiden shirt that you see the drummer and you see only the drums and you see only the hands.
Yeah.
Only the hands because his drums are so great.
Awesome.
So you see only hands. Yeah.
Also, I feel like drummers are really cool. I mean, I can say that because I play guitar and I have no hand-feet coordination. So, like, I feel like I'm an accomplished like air drummer in my car, and then people just think I'm like nuts when I'm like, you know, like.
When you only have the two hands to worry about, I think all of us are really good drummers. But when you have to
incorporate the feet, yeah.
It all breaks. It all breaks down. You know. Yeah.
I think it's just the drummers are on that higher intelligence level. You know, I don't
We'll go with that for now. Yeah.
It was just a little bit of schmoozing. But the next thing, guys, I don't know how big of a video game fan you are, but I'm a nerd, so I love asking this. If you could be a video game character, who would you be?
What's the name for Uncharted? What's
I don't know.
Nathan Drake.
What's that? Nathan what?
It's Nathan Drake, I believe.
Yes. He's just the funniest. He's just the funniest male character in the video game sphere.
That's a good one. Nathan. Okay, we got Nathan Drake.
I've been playing Red Dead Redemption 2 again. I've been back on that, so I'd be like, I like Arthur. I feel like he kind of got some getting used to, but I feel like he's kind of a badass. So I feel like I'd like being him.
That's cool.
I would either be Link from The Legend of Zelda, or I would be my character from Fallout New Vegas that's like level 99. Oh, nice.
Yes.
You know. I mean, I feel like I don't have to say it, but you know.
Yeah. Man, I'm a little torn. I think one video game character that I've always loved is Thrall from the Warcraft series.
Ooh, okay.
And so I think that's one. I don't know if I'd really want to be a big green orc, but it might not be so bad to like control the elements and
he
stuff.
is a handsome orc, though.
He is a handsome orc. Yeah, as far as orcs go,
Top
he's
10.
basically the Brad Pitt of the orcish horde, and that's cool.
But if I was a teenager, I would want to be Max Payne.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Jump in
That's a good one,
bullet
too.
time, you know.
Yeah. Otherwise, I know from the video games that I've played, I also really love the character of Joel from The Last of Us. I think he'd be a good guy to me. He's just
The Last of Us
he's
is
focused. He gets stuff done, and
man.
can take out a couple clickers like nobody's business. So it's all good.
That's a good game.
That's a great game.
there we go, guys. Next question, keeping it more music related. If you guys could compile a musical dream tour lineup, who would be on it?
Is it okay? Are we being realistic? Oh, it's a dream.
No, dream tour.
Dream tour. Also, your band's included. I feel like I should say that just out of
Yes. Yeah.
We can make a group answer.
I mean, it'd be tough to say. Like, I feel like Queens of the Stone Age would have to be on there.
Yeah.
That would be just because I feel like they have a lot to do with where our musical inspiration is. That's a tough one.
Well, I think if you don't mind, can I jump in?
Yeah.
So I mean, for me, I think they're not really touring anymore, but obviously they'd be opening for us. But the Kooks would be a cool one. Clearly, they'd be opening for us. And then I think it'd be really fun to tour with Arctic Monkeys.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
And Fleetwood Mac, but with but with Lindsey Buckingham.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think Cage the Elephant too, just because their stage presence is like unreal. So that's another one.
I wouldn't want to compete with that guy.
Yeah.
He's crazy.
Yeah, it's that, like the stage presence. Like it would just be fun watching that every night.
Yeah.
So
That's a good
one.
So basically, yeah, we'll if we can tour with Cage the Elephant, Fleetwood Mac with Lindsey Buckingham, Queen, Arctic Monkeys, the Kooks. Anyone, John?
I don't know.
you're not gonna throw Iron
No?
Man.
All of them. Yeah.
Iron Maiden. And we'll obviously be headlining, and I think we can expect that around 2022.
Okay, awesome, guys. Well, links are in the description where you can buy tickets for this insane tour. It's gonna
Dream
be
tour.
Dream tour. It's gonna be sponsored by me, so I don't know how I'm gonna make it happen, but we'll check back in this video in 2022, and we'll see where we're at.
Yeah, I like your optimism.
There we go. Awesome, guys. Next question, kind of the follow up, the Dream Tour lineup. In your opinion, who puts on a great live performance?
Probably any of the bands that we just mentioned.
Yeah, I saw the Killers live at ACL too, and they were amazing live. Cage the Elephant were amazing live. Foles is probably one of the best live bands I've seen.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Were amazing live.
I can't believe the lack of Foles mentioned. So
Yeah. Always leave somebody out there.
But I would say the best show I've ever seen, and even walking away from the show, you can hear people. That's the best show I've ever seen. That's Muse.
Nice.
Ooh.
Muse was the best show I've ever seen. Muse.
I think my most recent just like oh my god show was Beck, and I went into it not being like I was there. It was like the Spoon Cage the Elephant Beck tour, and
Okay.
Went with a buddy of mine, and I was really there for Spoon, and I liked a couple Cage the Elephant songs, or more than a couple, so I was like cool. And then Beck, I knew like 3. But I have to say that he just put on such an incredible show. It was one of those things where, like, even if you don't know every song, it was amazing. Like I thought that was probably one of the best live shows I've seen in recent memory.
Awesome, guys. Next question, a fun one as well. Favorite TV show, favorite movie.
Favorite TV show.
Yeah.
Dexter.
Dexter's
I love
That's cool. That's
Dexter.
cool.
Okay.
TV
Okay.
show. And movie, Into the Wild.
Oh,
I don't know
that's a
I've
good one.
seen that.
Yeah.
That's my favorite movie.
TV show. It's kind of hard because I'm thinking like all the way through. Like the seasons have to be good.
Yeah.
I put Game of Thrones in there, but the last
Seasons
season.
1 through 4 total.
Yeah.
That wasn't the question. You should just do
The
that.
following, probably the following, just because it's such an intense show. It's like
Following
it's
is
absolutely
so
insane.
underrated.
It's underrated.
Is that Kevin Bacon?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
It's
yeah.
one of my favorite shows. It's like it's so intense. It's
The
like
first season's a masterpiece.
Yeah.
It's so good. Yeah. Mine would be Game of Thrones, or I'm sorry, Breaking Bad. I think that's
good
just
one.
like perfect all the way through.
Yeah.
And my movie would be Star Wars Episode 1: The Phantom Menace.
Ooh, okay. Ooh.
His favorite character is Jar Jar Binks, obviously.
Oh boy.
If I'm thinking about TV shows, probably The Office.
Ooh,
I think that'd
classic.
probably be the one that I have to give my favorite TV show
I think
to.
it's not fair. It's not fair.
No, and I watched it like a billion times. But I mean, I will say that I think the best TV show of all time is Breaking Bad. I think it does deserve that mantle. Movie is probably a tie between Princess Bride and Spinal Tap.
Oh, okay.
Spinal Tap's a good one.
For movies, I'd probably say either Whiplash or Cinderella Man.
Oh,
Really good too, yeah.
Yeah.
there we go. Awesome. Next question, guys. If you're trapped on a desert island for the next month and there was one record you could bring with you, what would it be?
The first Iron Maiden album.
Oh,
Nice.
That's
man.
that's what got me
I
into
know.
music. So, or bass playing. So.
Yeah.
I would bring Polly Enzo, One Big Particular Loop.
oh,
Nice.
okay.
This is difficult. I'd almost rather have
That was easy for me.
I'd almost rather have no music so I don't take to the one album.
Yeah.
It's a month though. I feel like that's.
I would be Spoons. They Want My Soul.
That's a good one, yeah.
Okay.
That's the one with Brent Taipei, right?
That is.
Okay, cool. Yeah, sorry. Yeah,
You got
yeah.
that one.
It's always that moment of doubt. I just want to make sure that I'm right. But yeah, Brent Taipei. I mean, They Want My Soul.
They Want My Soul, yeah.
Did you have one? Sorry.
I did, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then okay, I might go with Holy Fire from Foles.
Ooh,
That's
a good one.
Ooh,
A good one too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
there we go, guys. And then the last thing, the most important thing. This is probably the easiest one. Tell them about your band, where they can find you on social media, and anything coming up in the next couple months.
Oh God. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, we have music available everywhere. Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, I think, if that is still doing its thing. You can, YouTube, virtually everywhere. And if you ever want to buy the record or the singles, our Bandcamp is mohawkbends.bandcamp.com, and that's the best way to do it, and to also make sure that we get all of your money and it doesn't go to some faceless, whatever.
Amen.
But otherwise, yeah, we got some shows coming up next weekend, and I think the future is largely we're working towards an EP.
Yeah.
So that should
Sort of
happen in the
new
next
material.
in the next year or so.
We should have another single coming out soon.
Yeah, well, we'll have another single probably in the next month or two. But then, yeah, sights are set to doing an EP that I think is going to be all new songs. So
Awesome.
we'll see.
Well, I have to give a massive shout out to Erica and Angela over at Muddy Paw. They are some of the best people, so gotta give them some love.
Super sweet. They've been great. We've really appreciated all the help they've given us on the release of our single "See What You Do to Me," and they are just really pleasant to work with, and it's been a wonderful experience.
Awesome. Well, go check out Mohawk Bends. The links are in the description where you can find out about their band, their music, and all of that other good stuff. And if you live in the Austin area, go out and see them. I know there's tons of great Austin bands, so I'm glad to add it to the ever-growing list of bands that I interview. And if you enjoyed this interview, share it, like it, subscribe. It goes a long way. And thanks, of course, to Mohawk Bends for coming on and chatting tonight.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah.
Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, of course. If you enjoy what we do, make sure to go check out the other series we do. We do album reviews, we do band interviews, and we do live videos, so definitely go check that out. Hit that subscribe button. It really helps our channel, helps us grow. Make sure to hit that like button as well. Go follow us on social media. That's all down below. We try to keep that as updated as possible. We also made a new website where we'll be posting photos of upcoming concerts and stuff like that, which you can go check out at audioaddictionmedia.com, and come get your fix with us, guys. Talk to you later. Deuces.